Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this content marketing guide, you're going to learn what that content marketing is, how it's different than social media marketing, and maybe most importantly, if you should even care and try it for your business. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful videos if you decide content marketing is something you should try out for your business. We have a lot of guides on how to get started and of course, come up with content ideas in the first place. But before we do that, getting ahead of myself, let's go ahead, jump into what the heck content marketing is, and we'll start off with this simple definition. Content marketing is the strategic process of creating media to engage prospects, educate customers, position you as an authority, and see the value of your products and services. Now we'll go through the 5 A's of content marketing so you can see exactly how this definition plays out into helping you be successful with content. But there are 3 keys to success to keep in mind when thinking about whether or not you should be creating content. Now the main key to success with any content marketing strategy, we'll get to the platforms in a moment here, is it's always centered on your ideal customer, which means you need to know who your ideal customer is. So think of all the people in the world who might find value in your product or your service. Those are your prospects, because after all, whether you're doing social media marketing or content marketing, the point of creating this media is to grab the attention of people who could potentially do business with you in the future, not grab the attention of everyone in the world, which is why one of the first things you want to do with any marketing strategy is make sure you know who your ideal customer is, because you need your content to be centered on your customer, not you and your business. So a huge mistake a lot of content marketers make is going through creating content and then just talking about how great they are or how great their business or product is, when really at the end of the day, when we get to the 5 A's of content marketing, you'll see that content is always about your ideal customer, bringing value to them, engaging with them. So I'll link up in the cards and the description to a data-driven method for coming up with your ideal customer profile. Now, what is the difference between content marketing and social media marketing? So we need to separate the two before we dive into the 5 A's, and you can ultimately figure out whether or not content marketing is a good idea for you and your business. So the easiest way to separate these two is to think about the type of actual media or content that you're creating. When you create content for content marketing, you're creating a post that's going to last anywhere from 6 months to 2 years or more. Whereas when you're looking at social media marketing, you're creating something that's probably going to last anywhere from 48 hours to 72 hours at most. So here's an easy breakdown of social media platforms versus content platforms. So on the content side of things, we have YouTube, we have a WordPress blog, and then we have podcasting. Those are pretty much the best ways to create content, whether it's short like this, like a quick video, or whether it's an hour-long tutorial or something that's going to take a really long time to read. Versus social media is going to be pretty much everything else under the sun, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even LinkedIn. Now, what's important is both of these strategies actually work. The difference here is going to be you and your business, and then also your natural tendencies. If you're someone who likes social media and likes engaging on social media, then you should go the social media route. If you're someone who doesn't really engage naturally on social media at all, then content marketing is definitely the way to go. And in both instances, the goal is the same: to grab the attention of your ideal customers, aka your prospects, engage with them, hopefully build an audience, and then eventually build enough trust so that they decide to do business with you. The main difference here is going to be the type of content and the length of time the content continues to be valuable, which is also why I like recommending content marketing to entrepreneurs and small business owners, because if you stop posting on social media, well, your engagement and audience pretty much drops off the face of the planet. Whereas if you take a 6-month break from blog posts or even YouTube, you can still come back and you'll still continue to get traffic and sales with your content. Now, the downside is content does take a long time to rank organically and begin to actually produce results, where social media, especially if you have a little bit of an ad budget, you can begin to see results a lot faster. So that might not seem like a huge concrete difference, and that's because both of these strategies are ultimately trying to do the same thing. It's just the type of content that's being created, the type of media that's being created is different. And that's the difference between social media marketing and content marketing. It's not some huge difference. It's just the type of media that you are putting out, depending upon the platform that you're targeting. So now let's go through the 5 A's of content marketing. Content marketing is designed to attract your ideal customer, answer their questions. You're going to build an affinity with your audience, cement yourself as an authority, and of course, finally drive action. First, content marketing attracts your prospects by giving them a reason to pay attention to you. After all, if you just make videos and blog posts, or you post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn about how great you are and how great your services or business is or products are, nobody's really going to care. Nobody's going to pay attention because it doesn't answer the question, what's in it for me, which is something that your prospects care about. They don't really care about what you're selling. They care about how you can be helpful, or sometimes how you can just be entertaining, depending upon the type of business or media that you're doing. And so with that attention, with content marketing, you want to answer your prospects' questions. You want to be actually valuable and helpful. Now, hopefully this YouTube channel is an example of that. We do get plenty of comments letting us know how happy they were to find the channel and how they have found the content on the channel actually helpful compared to some of the other blogs or channels that they watch. And what's important here is, as you attract people and as you answer questions with your content, some people aren't going to like the way you answer those questions. Some people aren't going to like the type of content that you make, and that's okay, because your goal is not to connect with everyone. After all, I like to say content that speaks to everyone connects with no one. And the second big benefit here when it comes to answering questions is it's actually a two-way street, because when you create content, you get questions back. And this is where sometimes I will get really lengthy and in-depth questions when it comes to Google Tag Manager or Google Ads or just basic copywriting questions. And this helps us better understand who our audience is and, of course, what problems they're actually facing when it comes to the success that they're trying to achieve in their own lives and their own businesses. And it becomes this great feedback loop, because as questions come back at you, you become better at answering those questions, and your content just becomes that much stronger, and you begin to build affinity with your prospects. And over time, that affinity turns into actual authority. And so there is a small line here, but essentially what happens is, as you answer those questions over and over again, you naturally become a authority in your prospects' eyes, and you become that go-to source because your prospects have found that you've been helpful time and time again, and then they come back to you for those questions. And with that authority, you are able to complete the final step of content marketing, which is driving action. And that is ultimately what your content marketing will be designed to do, is to attract your prospects, then answer their questions. And by way of answering their questions, you get questions back and better understand your ideal customers and prospects. You build affinity through that process, building an audience, and eventually some of those people will start to see you as an authority. Not everyone who watches your content will see you as an authority. They might actually see you as less, but we won't get into that here. There's haters everywhere, and not every single person who comes in contact with your content is going to enjoy it. So you build that authority, and out of that authority, you can ultimately drive action to your products or services, because you've built up an affinity, you've built up trust with these people through your content. And so that's the power of content marketing. That's what makes videos, podcasts, and blog posts so powerful. And that's why I think when it comes to driving sales to products and services, over the long run, content marketing is definitely the way to go for 9 out of 10 businesses. Of course, there are some businesses, particularly if you're in consumer goods and you do a lot of B2C, where something like Instagram and Pinterest, where you get to just focus on pictures and short videos, might actually be a better fit. But hopefully this helps explain what content marketing is, how it's different than social media, and how a lot of social media marketing and content marketing actually go towards the same goal. And of course, the 5 A's of content marketing, so you can better understand the process of going from a prospect to hopefully a happy paying customer. So comment below with your content marketing questions, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.